Creme de la cremes. This guy is a smasher of knees, according to my friend Blake, the Bulletproof Troop. Are we on? Are we just looking good?
What's up, world? The one and only Joey, the freaking Bull Santana, is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, the drink team is in the house.
How do I compete with that? So let's just say that this is Jim Crashers. And I'd say special guest Joey the Bull, but he's no longer a special guest. He's a household name. He's a part of the furniture.
Wow,
he's our middleman. And not to be remiss, Adam, according to Woods, I used his word because I've learned it from him.
Yeah, damn right. 10 points for big words for a black guy.
Well, it was a 6-letter word, but that's okay.
That's what we're doing here. What's going on, party people? This is Jim Crashers with the illustrious Joey the Bull. Fucking Dondo, man. How badass is this guy rocking an Iron Maiden shirt? I fucking came like somewhat dressed.
Number of the Beast, there it is.
In an island shirt. So
I like it, but we're all representing.
Yeah, man.
Joey's old school Team Punishment. I'm old school heavy metal guy, and you're straight off the coconut tree.
I'm fucking shucking coconut somewhere. Right? But anyway, there it is. That's how we fucking start this shit off.
This is June 11th. It's been a crazy day, and I just want to say happy birthday to the Polynesian Panda, otherwise known as Robert Simerson. He's under the weather. He ate some foul pork at a Korean barbecue. I don't know why everybody's laughing. It's the second time in 3 weeks. He's lost 40 pounds because of it, so his new diet is to eat lousy food and shit it out.
But it's true. I remember last time we went to do the Korean barbecue, this poor gentleman, after we took off, he pulled out to the side and started.
Us or poor gentleman, that guy? Who did it?
Bushishuru.
Oh, I think it's his stomach.
That's a legit Japanese
I think
turn.
something's going on with his stomach because he was able to eat like gargantuan, and now he's really throwing up and shitting his brains out.
You said
Often.
foul-ass pork, so
Yeah.
was it like a fucking turducken? Whatever the fucking...
Turducken?
Turducken, yeah.
Turkey duck in?
Yeah, apparently I don't have the accent to pull that son of a bitch off.
They serve slices of pork. It's thinly sliced, and I cook it to crunch because I like my meat burned. But this guy likes the taste of blood. And in that become bloodborne pathogens and all these different things that mix in your system, and then he gets sick. So I'm shitting out carcinogens like, charcoal and stuff, and he's got the runs and chorro and everything else.
No, for sure. I mean, speaking of thin runs of slices of pork, we had a pretty big fucking fight weekend.
Oh, yeah.
How about that transition, folks?
That was pretty good. I don't know how you brought that back, but it was Robert's birthday. It is Robert's birthday, and there's a whole lot of other things we're going to bring up, so it's not a solemn day. It's a good day to be alive, but some things have happened in our families, and on our show we will represent that, so I just want to make sure we make note of that, but we're going to try to have fun anyway. So, Jim Crashers, here it is. Are we going into the UFC segment, or are we going to run down some other stuff first? What do you think?
Yeah, let's get into the UFC. You saw the first part of the card. Obviously...
Let's talk about the better part of the card.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the top 5.
Okay.
Okay, so, Joey, did you watch fights to start with?
Yeah, I only fought. I actually caught the Cowboy.
Okay.
Cerrone, and
so that was about the third fight in. So
and I also got the fight where Homeboy won both belts, and he was just saying, I'm the greatest of all times, and nobody can beat me. He wants to drop weight or go higher to gain a third belt.
So Tai Tuivasa
Yes.
versus Blagov Ivanov. What is that his name, Robert? Something like that. Tuivasa I expected a lot more from. They're big guys. They're Joey size. These are large mammals, as I call them. And chucking heat. So I expected a knockout in the first or second round. These guys lasted the entire fight.
And for heavyweights, that's pretty...
right? So their cardio was up there. But it was
yeah.
it was not what, it's not a crowd pleaser when you got guys that hit that hard and they're able to duck, cover, run, and hide and, last a whole fight. So it went to decision. I expected better from Tai Tuivasa, but he did lose to Blagov Ivanov. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
Ivan Drago.
There we go. Ivan Drago.
There we go. That would be easier to say.
But that was the first of the top 5, and then we move on.
So going to the Tuivasa deal,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know. You guys probably know.
Tell
if you've followed Ty's career, he's training with another badass in Tyson Pedro. Another,
Where's that at?
In the South Pacific for sure.
Is
I don't
it?
know if it's Australia or New Zealand.
Okay,
or
I didn't know
whatever.
that.
Yeah. So, but the one kind of repulsive thing that Ty does, and I think it kind of sets us Polynesians back a little bit because there's an expectation when he does it, like we all have to do it. Is this thing called the fucking shoey?
Oh.
Which, oh my god!
Tell me about the shoey.
So the shoey apparently is a ritual, like a fucking dumbass drinking game. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's a dumbass drinking game
Those are my
where you
favorite
fucking
games.
take somebody's shoe, spit in it, and then fucking pour a beer in and drink it. Yes, you're cringing. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And if you're a fighter in the UFC and knowing what a stringent test that USADA is, right? And if you're sick and your weight is depleted, your immune system is depleted, right? You can't take any allergy pills if you've got allergies. If you have done a training camp and weight cutting and whatever, and you get a cold, you can't even have a fucking cold medicine, right? But you're risking hepatitis. You're risking so many things
From somebody's
by
foot?
fucking spitting in somebody's shoe, pouring a beer in it, and I don't understand it, dude. But fuck, man. I guess or whatever.
I'm blown away, but I know that Joey's holding some Our Life CBD, so representing in the house,
Oh, shit.
the best of all CBD. If you look at my Instagram, Dondo the Gym Crasher, there's a link in there. You hit that link, Dondo10. When you check out, you get 10% off. Not to interrupt the drinking
just-
games and shoes. I think he just rubbed his panoche.
No, my knees hurt. I just rubbed it into my knee.
Oh, well, your knees in the middle of your legs.
Well, I'm sitting with my legs crossed. People can't tell.
There's a region that I'm.
They say
I'm,
that the
I'm not
walrus.
even gonna look to my left because, this CBD stuff, it definitely fucking works.
Smells good.
And the amount of glee that Joey the Bull has on his fucking face, my goodness, folks.
They say the walrus has the largest penis of all mammals.
The
So
walrus?
I'm starting to wonder what's sitting next to me.
Is that a Beatles reference?
Something is touching my pinky toe.
It's
know what?
working.
Ask my
Right?
brothers. Fucking A.
I don't know what's in that CBD, but it works wonders. So, Our Life CBD, shout out. Go on to my Instagram. It's in my bio, Dondo10 for a 10% discount, or go online to ourlifecbd.com.
There it
Right
is.
there. That's what I'm talking about.
Right?
go.
If it works for Joey, it works for anybody.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Looking like a fucking Captain Planet. Yeah.
From our life
Saving
to
our
yours.
planet is the thing to do.
This stuff smells good, man.
It does.
So, how do you get hepatitis from drinking from a shoe? Somebody would have to bleed
I
in
don't
there,
know
right?
what the fuck, but you tell me where that's an acceptable fucking trait. Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna fucking take off my shoe. You know what else? We're gonna fucking spit in it. Oh, you know what else? We're gonna fucking pour a beer because apparently that's gonna kill off whatever. So why do the other fucking two things before it? I have no idea.
This
and
is-
then you drink it. What in the fuck?
This is interesting coming from Adam because the ancient serving of kava was they would chew the kava root, spit it into a bucket, and the spit would ferment the kava, and then you'd drink it later.
Yeah, see, that's not my island. We don't do that.
That
shit.
is a Fijian thing, homeboy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how they ferment it.
No.
They don't
Okay.
do it now because they realize it's disgusting, but that is the tradition.
I know they still do it in. I want to say it is. It's not Micronesia. It's. Fuck. I want to say New
Saipan?
Guinea. No.
Oh, Papua New Guinea,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But I mean, even still,
They're Micronesians, by the way.
You know, I'm not whatever. But again,
Oh, no,
you're-
they're Melanesians.
You're a UFC
Wait, you're a
fighter.
Melanesian. You're
Yes,
not.
I am.
Okay,
Damn it.
you're not a Micronesian.
On both sides.
No, the Micronesians are the people, the Chamorros and those guys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Shout out to Uncle
Gotcha.
Harper, who's
Shout out to Frank Camacho.
who's Micronesian.
Yeah,
Oh, damn! Right on.
he's from Guam. No, he's not. Doesn't he live in Guam?
No.
Oh, he's not? Okay. Well, hey, shout out to Chamorros in, Tumon Bay at Micronesia Mall. You know? Right? I got to laugh. I got my shit together. I know what I'm talking about.
That's great.
Right?
I have no idea. I didn't even know there was a Polynesian mall.
Micronesian Mall.
Micronesian.
That's the name of the mall in Tumon Bay.
What?
It really is. There's a Marriott there. If there's a Marriott there, I've been there, right?
Okay.
You know I know.
Very out there.
Right? I'm the ambassador.
There you go.
You know what?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
put the-
Oh, okay.
Do you put the bass or the ass?
The badass odor.
The badass in
I'm the
ambassador.
badass
I like
odor.
that.
Right?
Dondo's the badass in ambassador.
Joey puts
Yeah.
the fun in funeral. I put the badass in odor.
Wow.
Ooh, son.
Man.
Joey.
That's tasty. What?
Question.
What
Speaketh.
happened?
Troop put in manslaughter.
What did Blake Troop put in manslaughter? Laughter.
Yes, laughter and manslaughter. There you go. 10 pence. Hey, I thought we were gonna have like a fucking scoreboard or some shit every time I said 10 points.
I wish Robert had a microphone, so I had to repeat that.
Damn it. Hey,
It's his birthday. I forgive him. I don't think he's quite 40 yet, so he's really young for a man of his girth. So,
How old did you turn today, Robert?
40.
and he lost 40
40.
pounds. Did you turn 40 today?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is a
Happy
big day.
birthday.
I take that back. He's
to
earned
you.
every second of his life. This is an amazing guy. So,
Yes.
for those of you that don't know, Robert rolls, Robert throws, Robert films, Robert runs. Robert gets the runs,
And tell him what I did for $2 million.
and for $2 million, he will polish a fine helmet to a
There you
to a
go.
sharpness, to a cleanliness, to a chromatic
Hey.
beauty.
Wow.
And no, that's not true. Robert wouldn't do that. I try to talk him into strange things for $2 million, but Miguel reminds him that I don't have $2 million. So before he answers what he'll do, I have to remind him I don't have it, so it doesn't matter. But Robert has admitted to some things, so it makes me wonder where his limits are.
Apparently, it's a fucking
He has
foul
none.
pork.
He has no limits. The man wants to please his wife and his kids, and that's an admirable thing. So, no talking shit tonight. He's a wonderful guy. If you drink out of Robert's shoe, you're gonna fucking die, though.
He's wearing flip-flops. Though.
Well, try to drink
How
out of
does
that.
even work conceptually?
You try. It's like a
Okay.
steel-belted radial.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Yes.
There you go. 10
There he
points.
goes.
There
Getting
you
back
go.
to the fights, by the way.
Yeah.
So where did we leave off?
So,
Okay, Peter
Ty-
Yan. Peter Yan was the next one.
Yeah. Apparently,
Okay.
he made a good showing.
We made a good showing. I think it was a lot of back and forth. Another decision, right? Those are not our favorite fights, but hats off to Peter Yan.
And I want to kind of get into the fact that, guess what? Yes, knockouts and decisions, but there were no submissions on this card,
Yeah.
which is kind of rare.
Yeah.
But
I
it
agree.
was, I mean,
Does
yeah,
that please you? I just want to know. It's a personal opinion. Do you prefer that people don't get submitted, they get knocked out, or? Because I'm a
No.
jiu-jitsu guy, so I lean towards. I like certain things to finish a fight, but that's just my opinion.
I think Joey's chomping at the bit. Let's
Tell me what you think, Joe.
Well-
I'll say after.
I mean, it's different when you're working at a bar and you choke someone unconscious. So just tell me what you think about fights,
Well,
UFC
my
fights.
opinion in fights, back in the day, I think that's the reason why I was not a big fan of MMA. This is the honest to God truth.
Tell me.
Back in the UFC days. I believe when you fight,
Yeah.
let's throw some hands. That's what you're trained for. During my time and my growing up not being, the whole world of jiu-jitsu, I thought it was a big joke. I thought it was a bitch way to win a fight because you're climbing on somebody, you're choking them out. Why can't you just throw fists with somebody and whoever gets knocked the fuck out, get knocked the fuck out?
That's why jiu-jitsu is not big in Mexico,
And-
but it's starting to catch up.
But I'm just saying, and I think I'm more of a knockout guy. If I see a fight, but if I see an awesome ass like submission, like a guy jump up in the air and wraps the legs around and boom and done deal, that's cool to me. But if
Okay.
you're on the ground and
It's got to be fancy then.
yeah, to me I like just a straight boom knockout and you're done.
Okay. I think that's the majority of the country. Right? Everybody's looking for that. Doesn't always happen.
What's your take on it, Dondo?
Well, I like personally, and maybe because I've watched too many fights, but I like the grinders. I like a guy who'll grind out a win. He's got a tough opponent. They've matched him up properly, and he may have his back against the wall, and we think it's going one way, and you grind out a win, whether it be a submission or a knockout or a TK, whatever it is, but you're grinding towards that finish, and you should have been knocked out. You might have been knocked down, but not out, and you come back and you finish someone. I love that.
No, for sure.
That's me.
And I'm a bit torn when there's a dichotomy because to me I think a submission, right? Literally, you're a badass that's fighting another badass.
Yeah.
That has a team of strategic generals behind you, right? You've got your striking coach, you got your jiu-jitsu coach, you got your strength and conditioning coach a lot of times, right? And in front of all of them, you're basically making them say uncle, right?
Okay.
I think that's way less humiliating, right, than getting knocked out. The thing about the knockouts, there's two schools of thought that I have. Now, obviously, they're exciting. Don't get me wrong, right? But the long-term effect of what those blows can do, those aren't pretty. Those aren't pretty, one.
But you sign up knowing what that's all about.
Right, absolutely.
So it is what it is.
Right. Then the second...
Woods gets 10, Dondo gets 0. But see, how about a blood choke, Robert? We get a blood choke, a guy shits his pants. It's happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
oh,
there's
yeah.
a point for Dondo. Everyone's going to love that, except for the cleanup guy.
Right, that it's happening to, right? And then the other side of the spectrum, right? So just because a person gets a knockout, right, in a combat sports where everybody's got a puncher's chance, when you have a knockout, that doesn't necessarily mean the most technically skilled person walks out with the victory. We saw that in Emmanuel Newton against King Mo. There are many ways King Mo should have starched through the whole light heavyweight competition. I think that's what Bellator, when they signed him, really thought it was going to be, right? And then with the world's slowest spinning back fist Emmanuel Newton fucking
Yes.
knocks out King Mo and goes on to take the fucking Bellator light heavyweight championship. And shout out to Emmanuel Newton, he's a local guy. But with that being said, that doesn't necessarily mean that the most skilled person wins. Now, jiu-jitsu, dig that, because again, that is more acumen based. That you can see, where it's kind of befitting of the amount of training that you do, the amount of hours that you put into the gym. But then again, I mean, we had, I forgot which fight it was. I want to say it was Lights Out, but a white belt choked out a purple belt.
It was lights out.
Yeah, it was Lights Out, right? So
Yeah.
you do have those variables, but I think those variables shrink dramatically.
Talk about that
the
a little
bare
bit.
Knuckle.
Talk about it. Bare knuckle chuckle.
We got a question from
Okay, what we got?
Blake Troop.
Yep.
Okay, for those of you who are wondering,
On Bare Knuckle FC main event next week. Ollie.
thoughts on bare knuckle fight next week. They can't hear Robert. He doesn't have a microphone on, but Blake Troop's talking to us.
So
That's why that picture's up, Blake. We love to hear
what's
from you,
up,
buddy.
Blake? What's
The
going on? my
world
man?
is waiting for Blake to get a fight, so somebody stand up to Blake if you have the guts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime that guy enters a ring or a cage, man, I wouldn't want to be the fucking guy on the other side of the ring. So
Well, I'm not sure if you guys noticed that sumo match that him and I almost had together.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
I saw your
I
nuts.
did-
He was about to break my knees.
He did say he's a knee smasher.
and some Iron Sheik shit. You break your knees, make them humble.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Uh-oh.
Troop. If you need a manager, I'm the toughest guy in town.
The tough guy.
Toughest guy in town.
He's the tough guy.
I'm good in front of the screen, in front of the mic. I'm the toughest guy in town.
I got nothing. So again, the
Bare knuckle.
So, what are your thoughts on the sport of bare knuckle in itself, you guys?
Dude, I love bare knuckle. See, I'm a crazy, dude. I mean, if I was 20 years younger, if I was 25 years younger, back when I was more in shape.
Yes, Al Bundy. Al Bundy's a black belt. He's a badass. I love Al Bundy.
I'm just saying, I'd be a bad motherfucker in that ring. I'll be a bad motherfucker in that pit. I'll be kicking some ass, taking some names, and I have no shame saying that because when I used to train, when I used to train back in the day, I had feared no one. I had big old Usos that were 6 foot whatever in front of me. I had little pit bull looking dudes that wanted to take me on. Never went down in my life. Got knocked the fuck out, but I took good hits. And the problem is, didn't go anywhere because I didn't have the right, people to take me somewhere. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
But I'm crazy. I love it.
There it is. Dondo.
I forget what the question was, but going back to bare knuckle, I absolutely love this kind of thing personally. Now, but the kind of entrance, I mean, good Lord, I was that. Okay, Joe, you're a wonderful man. I'll leave it at that. I said I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna stay
No,
positive.
you answered the question
You're a
even though you
handsome
forgot
devil.
it, which
Well,
is
it
amazing.
what it is. I'm tuned in. That's why. Let me tell you, bare knuckle is what it is, right? It's bone on bone, and you're going to get a lot of boxers breaks. So your fighters aren't going to have that longevity. Everybody breaks their fucking hand, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I like to see a man finish a fight even with broken bones. I love that. But how long can you continue, right? And what does this do to the fighter's future? They're breaking hands and breaking bones and breaking faces, and okay, that's what it's about. But come on. Okay, I love it. For no matter what happens, I love it.
Okay. I dig it. I dig it.
But I am worried about the concussion thing. I am worried about the fighter's hands. You got to take care of your hands.
Well, the thing about it, and I think maybe Luke Thomas brought this up. So obviously, there's a lot more scar tissue that happens, right? And so much like Muay Thai, right, where you can lose a fight because of damage and cuts that happen that you incur in the fight. If you've got heavy scar tissue, you're more susceptible to bleeding. So again,
It's early
there's
stoppage because of that?
Your time in bare knuckle is
Sparingly.
yeah, a bit short. It's a limited run. But the cool thing about it is, I mean, if you're going to do it, I mean, this is another avenue for fighters. We've seen Beck Rollins, I mean, Chris Lieben, MMA veterans
Yeah.
that are getting a new lease on life.
Legit
and
fighters.
Big paydays. Sounds that one promoter thought it was cool to fucking screw crippler Chris Lieben out of a fucking paycheck. Who
That's-
the fuck are you?
that's not
and how
right.
dumb are you? Holy fucking shit. My goodness, right?
That's right.
But
From a man in a Hawaiian shirt, well spoken.
yeah, but in any event, when you see Pauline Malignaggi and Artem Lobov, right?
Artem.
Here's the thing: those are fights that people are going to see. People know Artem because of the connection to Conor McGregor,
That's right.
And you've got
Was he
Pauline
there on the
Malignaggi.
bus when they were hucking stuff? He was,
Yeah,
right?
he was, right?
a bus hooker.
And then he was actually supposed to fight on the card, right? He was supposed to be fighting on the card, so he was actually sequestered away.
Yeah.
And that happened, and he got pulled.
Is that a year ago this July?
Huh?
Is that a year ago already?
I don't know, man.
think
My
it is.
fucking timeline is
I
off.
think it was last year.
But-
this time, because it's always during UFC Fight Week in Vegas.
Probably.
Right?
But
Right.
it was in Madison Square.
Oh, so it wasn't UFC Fight Week
yeah, or
in Vegas.
Brooklyn. Oh, fuck. I don't.
You're right.
Yeah, the
You're
bar-
right.
the Barclays
You're right. You're
Center.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy some time, but no, I was all wrong.
But anyway, so we've got Artem Lobov and Pauline Malignaggi, headlining a card next week. And this is, Artem has MMA cred. Paulie essentially has, a strong rep. He's won multiple world titles in boxing, right? He's a amazing analyst for boxing, right? But here you've got them on a even keel to an extent because again, it's bare knuckle. Neither of them have done it for as best I know it. So it's kind of cool, and you're pulling, an MMA fan base, a pro Conor fan base, and a boxing fan base, and we're kind of meeting in the middle. And again, the more buys fucking things do, the more people get paid. So that's cool. So if that's the case, then I'm all for it. Any way that, like a Tony Kryptonite Lopez can fucking fight on a card for a damn world champion.
I'll watch him any day. I
that's-
love Tony Lopez.
That's awesome. That's fucking tremendous.
Does he have more miles on him than any other fighter in history? Honestly.
And more fucking has there been a more credentialed and accomplished heavyweight in all of MMA?
Ever.
Anything Brock Lesnar's done, anything that Josh Barnett's
I
done.
want the statistics on Tony Lopez. I
He's
think
got,
there's
like,
something
fucking
out there.
20 fucking world titles, I want
Right?
to say. It's definitely in the double digits,
Yeah.
for sure.
There's something incredible about that man that
Yeah.
people are ignoring and they just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Right?
again, with bare
He's a
knuckle,
savage animal.
if it's people getting paid, fuck, I'm all in.
He is the face of KOTC.
Yeah.
No two ways about it.
So going back to
Bare knuckle, you win.
UFC.
Oh,
UFC?
UFC. Getting back to it. Bare knuckle, we're all for it, Blake. We love it. I guess it is. It's a short term for the career, but if they're getting paid, you can't knock that. Everybody
The
needs
ring
some
is
money,
fucking cool.
right? The
I
ring
like
is
the
cool.
fucking.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Bare knuckle, bare naked, whatever you want to call it. It's all
Bare
good.
naked ladies.
That's right. But getting back to the fight, and then we're on the third from the bottom, so we're looking at Tony Ferguson.
Shit, yeah.
Right?
Tony Ferguson and Cowboy Cerrone. Holy
yeah.
fuck.
You know, I am sad that happened to Cerrone, but as people that, they're probably the most popular fight to watch out there, and other than Cejudo, that was amazing that Donald was just dominating that first round. Then Ferguson came back and really stepped it up that second round, turned him into hamburger.
Yeah, so, this was stylistically, for striking, one of the most technically profound fights. They were doing looping hooks to the fucking body, and it was a striking clinic. I don't care if you do Muay Thai, I don't care if you do point karate, boxing, MMA, any striking discipline, right?
Yep.
Watch those two, and the masterpiece that they put on, notwithstanding the errant late punch from Ferguson to Cowboy.
That was after, but did that hit him
for
in
that first two rounds? Again,
Yeah.
a striking masterpiece.
Yeah.
We were literally seeing two of the best in the craft,
That's
in
right.
the sport.
That's right.
Doing what they do best. And again, that's a fight that exceeded expectations for me. One, and that is a fight that you're like, when you talk to your friends that aren't into MMA, and you're like, hey, here's a fight. That's a fight that you want to show.
Did you
there's-
expect that outcome? Did you
no,
expect Ferguson to
obviously
finish?
It was surprising because there's a bit of marred controversy because, again, we had the errant punch. As I was watching live, thought the eye swelling came by way of that late punch, but we've now since found out that
Yeah.
that wasn't the case. Essentially what happened was Cerrone blew his nose. I didn't know that was a no-no.
All that pressure just
if
went.
you've got a fracture or whatever, and it looked like 10,000 bees fucking stung his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looked like Macaulay Culkin and My Girl. Holy fuck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It is definitely a good mistake. When I used to train fighters and I used to get hit in the face that hard, I'm like, do not blow your nose, 'cause otherwise it's going to shut. And then, of course, when they announced the winner, people got to understand, the fans got to understand, you can't just boo homeboy.
Yeah.
It's all
It's
about
rude.
securing Cowboy's eye, because they kept on fighting, that eye would have got hit more and more.
Yeah.
It would have damaged his whole career.
Yeah,
He probably
absolutely.
would've
His quality of life.
And a lot of fans don't understand that. They're booing Ferguson.
Well, because we know Cowboy would have won another round.
He could
I'm
have.
glad he didn't.
But that eye was just done, and he admitted himself in the interview that he pulled a rookie mistake. He blew his nose, and there you go. It happens.
Well said. So what happens? They blow a bunch of pressure into their eye?
Pretty much.
Tell me what that is. Is snot? Is it blood?
You just you release, like, you basically everything's holding up, and I guess when you release everything, it kind of just swells up right away.
Got it. Well, it is what it is.
Your take?
Well, I like you said, it was a clinic in striking. I believe that absolutely. I expected more from Cerrone, especially that second round. He started. I mean, he stays in the pocket and he trades blows, and I just wanted to see him move a little bit more and take less damage. But it is what it is. Ferguson got him. It was his day, and he probably would have finished either way.
Yeah.
Right? He was getting stronger and faster
Yeah,
and better.
he was.
He was in his element by the second round. By the third, he might have been on fire.
Right, absolutely. Now, I personally have a different take on the decision. So, yes, I mean, it's Tuesday after the fight, so we're not spoiling anything. Essentially, the way that it went down was that it was a doctor stoppage, by way of Cerrone's eye that granted Tony Ferguson the victory, right? Okay. For me, it would have been a draw because obviously Cerrone wasn't in the fucking, a physical condition to fight, right? And then that errant blow at the end of the second round, to me, that is, I mean, if you see the way that Cerrone's head kind of popped back, you would see literally the physical ramification that your body goes through when you're not defending, and that's a clean shot. Right, so for me, I would have had a draw
Based upon that shot being dirty
Yeah, absolutely.
and having that lack of control when the bell rings, I
Right.
can understand your thinking.
But the thing about it is, I've never been in as a hotly contested fight in that, so it's hard to say that I wouldn't do that or I would know where, because they were exchanging at the end of that second round, right? Not only that, but I mean, the big question going into this weekend or this whole week was the mental capacity of Tony Ferguson, because he'd gone through some, during about a year's sabbatical where his wife had, for his safety, he didn't do anything wrong per se. There wasn't any domestic violence stuff or anything, which is awesome, right? But the thing about it is his mental health was called into question. I think that got eroded, because we saw the Tony of old. But I don't know if that's something. I mean, we saw it with Rusmar Palhares, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or whatever, where the mental capacity, he held on to the leg locks, and it essentially ended his MMA career, right?
And rightfully so. Don't do that.
So I don't know what was going on, and again, not to place judgment on Ferguson at all. I mean, that dude is an ace. I've ran into him a couple times. He's one of the sweetest guys ever, And again, he, much like Max Holloway, when Max Holloway was going into that fight, and they were questioning his, his weight cut and everything like that. I never wanted to see Max Holloway fight again, because again, when you put your brain under duress like that, we're not even talking about fighting anymore.
I miss Max. I want to see him fight.
But the thing about it is he came back and
Right.
scorched fucking Ortega, and
He
it's
sure
just like,
did.
holy shit, where were you? We love you again, right?
And that
the
was
same thing with
amazing.
Ferguson, right? Ferguson put on one of the best performances. I think somebody tweeted out the last time that Ferguson lost, like BJ Penn and GSP were champions.
It's a long time ago.
Cejudo wasn't even fighting.
More than 10 years ago.
Cejudo and God, what's his name?
Moraes.
Kamaru Usman.
Oh, okay.
They weren't. They had yet to fight professionally.
Yeah.
Right. That was the last time Tony Ferguson lost.
Right.
Right. So I mean, he's got a litany of accomplishments. I think he's like moved up with that victory in the all-time most finishes in the UFC. I mean, he's got a Hall of Fame career. The fact that they stripped him from the 145 title, the interim title, is fucking egregious, man. He should be next in line. He probably won't be because, again, we've got Conor looming, and we don't know what the hell Khabib is going to do. So, you know, that notwithstanding, it's just crazy. I would have did it a draw because, again, that was Ferguson's fault, and Cerrone was not in a position to continue. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not a part of the commission. I don't know, but that was just my take.
Adam should be a lawyer. I'm realizing this as he's talking, and two talkers like me and Joey are just dead quiet. I'm like, this guy's controlled the courtroom, and we're going up the river.
But
He's
once-
putting us away.
But once again, Jim Crashers is brought to you by Our Life CBD. And don't forget about Cauliflower Nation right behind me.
Oh, shout
That
out to
way.
fucking Chris
That's right.
Grail.
Boom.
Are you putting
That's
your
a
finger in his
holy-
ear?
It's like,
And there's Our Life CBD behind my head.
And Our Life CBD.
Yeah,
It
it's,
works.
Over
Smells
Dondo's
good.
shoulder. Yeah, put your CBD on my shoulder.
Whoa.
That's what Dondo's saying.
Oh, really? Let me just.
That'll be really hard. I'll have to jump my whole body on your shoulder.
Hello.
Son. There you
Whatever,
go.
You know.
And then the next fight, I mean, the women's flyweight championship.
Shevchenko versus I.
Woo, son of a gun. Go ahead, take it, guys.
You tell me, buddy. Mr. Kick heard around the world. That's what I say when those kicks land like that, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it was so.
She was dominant. Shevchenko had that fight to begin with.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing about it, I think people slept on I in the sense that most people, I mean, the reason why a lot of people that are kind of covering the sport of MMA, but not really, you know, diehards like we are, they just saw her as one of the cannon fodder to Ronda Rousey,
Sure.
right? Because they didn't have the UFC didn't have a flyweight, you know, division at the time,
No,
right?
he's still
When she
building
first
it.
came to the UFC, so she had to move up in weight. A lot of guys did that. You know, Tonya Effinger for the Cyborg fight had to go up in weight to 145.
She helped build the house that they fought in.
Right.
So Evinger's old school.
So the thing about it, Jessica I, prior to Saturday, had never been defeated as a flyweight.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, that's next level competition, right? I mean, that's, again, that's another Hall of Fame career, right? And what does fucking Shevchenko do? Just mollywops her.
Yeah.
I mean, stylistically, she just ate her apart. And again, so everybody's talking about the kick, but the body shots that she did to open up the kick and realize that her, you know, like her guard was down and she had dropped her hands and
Sure.
whatever. You know, it's amazing the fight acumen that she has. One, not as a fighter, as a martial artist, the fact that she has pretty much had the same coach since she was like 7. You know,
It's so true, yeah. She's
It's-
adaptive, too. She adapted to
Yeah.
each situation. Quick.
yeah. So I mean, yes, that knockout was devastating. Don't get me wrong. I mean, blink and you miss it.
But she built up to it.
yeah, absolutely. And again, it was another striking clinic.
Yeah.
Joey.
Joey, tell us about it.
You know, that fight, to be honest, I kind of left the room to go handle some business, and I didn't.
Did you eat Korean barbecue? Is that what I'm hearing?
No,
Oh, it didn't happen like that?
no, just, personal stuff.
Oh, personal stuff. Okay,
There
okay,
you go.
okay. You didn't have a date on the throne.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, you did. Okay. It wasn't that personal.
Damn keto diet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Joey made a keto
Literally
burrito.
shit. Yeah, man. So, I mean, if you were to do like a
Okay, Joe.
5-star ranking system, like how many stars would you give Shevchenko I?
For a fight or just for the kick?
Okay. I like it.
Which is it?
No, I mean,
For
it's
the fight itself,
way up
it's
there.
a 4-star fight, and the kick itself was knockout ready.
Yeah,
it was
that's-
awesome.
That's one of the greatest, knockouts in women's MMA history.
Yeah.
That goes right up there with like Holly Holm dispatching Ronda Rousey in Australia.
That was a baseball
you know?
bat of a kick.
Obviously, on the pop culture lexicon, that it's not going to rank as high because, again, the juggernaut that most people believe Ronda Rousey to be before that home fight, nobody was pegging Jessica I as that. In terms of, again, people that are on the peripheral, right?
That's true.
So, but again, one of the greatest knockouts that's
In
big
this
stakes,
division.
Semi-main event, title fight, and that's the best, you know? And my
Shevchenko is now a name to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. I mean, she should have been anyway, but I mean, she along with Nunes
She's
are
proven
in
it.
the conversation of the greatest of all time. And it's weird that we're seeing like Marluz Conan and Cyborg and Ronda Rousey.
A lot of
all
miles on
names
those
kind
ladies,
of
yeah.
drop in
Yeah,
terms
yeah.
of
Well, the game's changing again.
yeah, absolutely.
It's
So-
evolving. We're getting older.
which is really cool because again, back in mid 2000s, when Ronda Rousey was on I think she was either on the Strikeforce Challenger Series or she was making her way through
2010,
Strikeforce.
11.
Dana White famously said there will never be any women in the UFC. There's now 4 divisions,
Yeah.
and one of my favorite
And they're exciting.
one of my favorite promotions is Invicta.
Invicta's
because,
exciting.
I mean, the gals of MMA are essentially where the UFC was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
For men.
They're hungry.
Which, by the way, I just want to get a shout out because an
Hit
Invicta, an Invicta vet. A multiple-time regional champion in Oklahoma, but Julia the Raging Panda Avila just got signed to the UFC,
Huge.
and she'll be fighting June 8th,
I love
July 8th. Yeah, so
Vegas.
that is. Shout out to Julia and her husband Cody because one of my old training partners when I first started jiu-jitsu back in Bakersfield, and just an incredible person. And it's
Bakersfield.
yeah, I mean,
It's
she
heavy.
her and her husband literally moved and packed everything up to acquire jobs in Oklahoma.
That's the same
Side
as
note,
Bakersfield.
she's a geologist,
Wow.
I mean, almost like master's degree level geologist, and works for a pretty big company. And she's in the UFC, so this is really cool.
She's multi-talented.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to Julia, you kick ass.
Joey's watching fights as we're talking about fights. There's some ground and pound right there.
I
Now,
was watching the highlights of that.
that's a great one.
I missed.
That is a great
I wanna
one.
Catch up.
And which one are you looking at?
Well, this is the one where homeboy won the.
So you're looking at
Cejudo.
So we're moving right on to Cejudo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, again, a striking clinic. Okay, the ref, what was his name? And we got the ref's name? Goddard? Mark Goddard.
Goddard,
Mark,
yeah,
Mark
okay, there.
Goddard says about this fight that these were the fastest exchanges of strikes he has ever seen, and that he was blessed to actually be in the building to referee this fight. So the quickness, the speed, the footwork, everything that goes into this weight class, right? Henry Cejudo is no joke.
No, and I mean, for me, the only other one that would probably rank is Mighty Mouse versus John Dodson.
Sure.
That was
Lightning fast.
and like evil intentions by every punch that was thrown.
Yeah.
And then I mean Joseph Benavidez has got some in there. Ian McCall, same. So I mean, for Goddard, as many fights that he's seen, for him to say that's pretty incredible,
Right.
So this was the only one that I actually was biased against because I could not stand Henry Cejudo. Yes, send all your hate mail to According to Woods.
Well,
It's
I'll
10.
take it
It's
right now.
10-0 on there.
Yeah,
so what
so-
are my
Sending
thoughts?
my hate right now.
Yeah,
Hold on.
so the thing about Henry Cejudo, I mean, obviously he is an Olympic caliber athlete.
He's an Olympic gold medalist.
Right? Absolutely. So, I'm not at all taking away from any of his accomplishments, but to me, I just think personality-wise, because you have to be so almost selfish and driven to get to the echelon in which he has, right?
That's a
That-
class of his own, really, with Olympic gold, with his weight class title,
Right.
UFC. Come on.
So for me, I just think he's devoid of a personality, and I saw what Dillashaw was
You're
doing.
right about that. That is the one thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what does the messenger stand for. Like that's just a moniker. It's just an adjective. It's just what I call
It's
myself.
an
And I
interesting
was really
perspective,
ready.
and I think you're right.
Yeah, like what message is he
I
trying to
never
send?
agree with him, but now I have to say, what is that? Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay.
I was literally
What do you think,
literally
Joe? What's the
ready.
messenger?
Like I had like a screenshot of
Yeah.
the fight, and I was ready to be like, "Yo, I think the message just got returned to sender."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was gonna shoot.
You
and
were
shoot
pushing out
shoot
memes.
a tweet to Ray Sefo of
Oh.
Professional Fighters League because Martin Moraes, to me, having beat Cejudo, if he had done it, in
You were
an
saying
alternative-
return to sender.
yeah, exactly. He would basically legitimize
Morais,
you
return
know,
to sender.
legitimize World Series of Fight or Professional Fighters League in a way that other than Justin Gaethje,
Right.
who else has done it? So I was really, Moraes' story. Moraes felt a lot more genuine than Cejudo did. I think Cejudo was kind of, and I say T.J. Dillashaw, but he was more like what's Kobe Covington, right? Where that it's an act. It just didn't feel genuine, right? But and Moraes was. I mean, he was beating Cejudo soundly on the feet, and then, as Moraes kind of said, hell, he got tired, and Cejudo did what he did.
At that speed,
So-
man, it's going to happen.
Yeah. So your guys' take?
Tell me, Joe, you haven't got a word in.
No, I did pretty much say what I had to say. I was happy he won the belt. He represented his mouth towards the end. I love that. I love when fighters get all. I know fighters are supposed to be humble, and I get it.
I don't think you're supposed to be anything. Be yourself.
Just be yourself. So he was being himself. He was
Right.
kind of doing the whole I got these belts. I got the medal. I got 2 belts. Now I want to get one more. So I'm calling so. I'm calling so out. I think he was just so happy in the moment that he had the belts and of course his gold medal. And I think he wants to try to get the 3rd belt.
That'd be huge.
And that'll be really huge. I like this just because I think that's money for UFC too.
It's
Great
good for
marketing.
all of us to see it, though. I want to see
Yeah.
that happen. I'm a fan.
What's your take, bro?
That is my take. I'm
Oh,
a
that
fan.
is
I
your
want to see
fan?
him. I want to
Okay.
see him take another belt.
Okay. No, Joey, you alluded to it. It's more money for the UFC. But if you saw a couple screen grabs of Dana White, basically belting Cejudo, it was cringeworthy. I mean, if Cejudo, by his own self-admission, is saying he's the cringe king, he made the president of the UFC fucking cringe like a motherfucker, giving him 2 of his title belts.
Yeah.
Right? So it's weird because, again, and this goes into like Cejudo devoid of a personality from my perspective, right?
No, I think you're right about that.
How in the hell can you be proud of being a double champion when this is almost like a fucking pro wrestling storyline, right? Where, the
It had to
fucking
come to
boss,
that.
the boss sends
It's the truth.
the bigger guy, the more, kind of accomplished guy in TJ Dillashaw to kill your fucking division. That's what he was meant to do, right? And then, guess what? He threw a wrench. That's what I love the best about fucking Cejudo. He threw a wrench on fucking Uncle Dana's plans, almost like fucking Mickey Gall before him,
Yeah.
right? Sage Northcutt, fucking
Yeah,
CM
thank
Punk.
goodness for that, yeah.
And I mean, Mickey Gall is Uncle Dana's fucking, hype killer, right? And Cejudo was that for the flyweight division. He is the savior of the flyweight division, and I thank him for that. Absolutely. But here's the thing. How can you hold yourself proud of a champion of 2 divisions saving a fucking division when, they were going to kill your fucking division? And you said nothing about it. You fuck? Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know. And then, one of the things that he said, I think it was in the countdown, not so much the embedded, but he was just like, oh my God, there's too much gold. And he's fucking putting his, belts up there and his fucking mantle and shit like that. And again, it just felt forced, man. It felt really goddamn forced.
Maybe he's
and
a little reclusive and he's an introvert and, he lets his fist do the talking.
Okay,
Is
yeah,
that
he's
wrong?
an introvert. Then why fucking show up at fucking weigh-ins with a damn king crown, whatever the fuck? And what does that mean? What does that mean? You're the messenger. You show up like Jerry the King Lawler. What the fuck are we doing here, guys?
No,
What are we
I'm
doing?
confused.
So Cejudo, you're a great champion. And what did he do to the, did the Olympic gold medal come like that? I never saw Kurt Angle's gold medal or Rulon Gardner's gold medal with a fucking chain
He got rid of that strap.
befitting of Flavor Flav? That's what he looked like. He looked like a
Damn.
short fucker Flavor Flav.
Of all the guys that judge Flavor Flav, I
Yeah,
never
this guy.
thought
he's
that
the
Adam Woods would be
again,
the guy.
he's the double paper plate golden fucking champion because I hate that fucking belt. Thank you, Bixel, for fucking up a good thing in the UFC heavyweight title design because the fucking
Such
thing looks like
passion.
shit.
Okay.
It looks like shit.
Okay,
Damn it.
Let's just calm the situation. A big
Anyway.
shout out to Andy Ruiz to go to Mexico today to meet the actual Mexican president.
That's huge.
That was really huge. I mean, I just watched that. It was very proud moment
We're all proud of Andy
for all
Ruiz.
the Latin community, and of course people that love Andy Ruiz.
For the
He-
dad bods out there, Andy Ruiz set the standard.
and I believe he does train at your guys' area.
he
right?
does train over there at Legends Boxing.
Boxing, and-
Just next door to the Gym Crashers Dojo, 12,000 Firestone Boulevard,
And
Norwalk,
folks,
California.
y'all should check it out, man. It's a great gym. It's beautiful. It's like
That's right. It's clean.
It's clean. It reminds me of like the old school. When I used to train fighters back then, it was in my garage, my mom's garage.
It's not
So
your
that's
mom's garage.
But it's not your mom's garage, but it's
I
what I'm
feel
saying.
you. He's trying to give me some love.
But anyway, big shout out to Mr. Ruiz, man, the heavyweight champion.
I love the guy.
Hell yes. And again, everybody talks about the dad bod, but Ruiz and Daniel Cormier are two of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet right now, on planet Earth.
Right? And they both eat In-N-Out
Yes,
Burger.
they are girthier gentlemen. But the amount of time that they put in to get where they're at, let's get that clear. You're not going to jump off the couch and fucking become a world champion.
Oh, no.
These two are two skilled fucking individuals, the elite of their sport.
That's right.
So
Here comes the boom.
And you're right. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. So you dudes
Get off
out
the
there
couch.
that have the dad bods, don't think you can go out there and just fight with anybody because
Get off the couch and get out
for
there.
real by an actual trained dad body fighter.
Nothing wrong with that. Just get off the couch.
I'll give you props throwing swings at me and all that stuff, but I guarantee you'll get knocked the fuck out. I'm still over my age, but I guarantee
if
I'll
you
knock
show
the
up
fuck
at
out.
Joey's garage, you know what to expect. But come
Yep.
to the dojo. I'll
But,
take care of you.
But much respect people that try. 'Cause
Yeah,
now that
absolutely.
They see these champions
Try.
are all
Just
big.
try.
Well, I'm gonna go out there and fight too. Because if Andrew Reese became a champion, I'm gonna put my bowls of chips down and my big old thing of peanut butter and mashed potatoes.
Nobody's putting that shit down.
chips, mashed potatoes.
I'm
That's
just gonna-
a
I'm just
fucking
gonna-
winning combination.
Now I know what's going on at Joey's house.
Yeah, damn right.
But big shout out, much love.
You know what?
Dad bods.
I'm going to tell you right now. Adam is wearing a very special shirt. This is the shirt from his uncle.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about that shirt.
So it's kind of a rough day. Thank you guys for giving me a little bit of space. But today's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday,
my
Mama.
mom, it was kind of integral in terms of raising me to try and become a broadcaster in the vein of her father in Fiji. So my uncle, her brother, along with my grandfather, started the Fiji Post back in Fiji in '88. Unfortunately, my mom had passed away, as did my uncle. So this is their day, and I'm doing the very thing that they wanted me to do. None more befitting than me being here with you guys. So it's a bit somber
Thank you
for
for that.
sure.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for giving me just a bit of space, but this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it feels
is.
right. And this is something that I've ran away from. I was like, I want to be a fighter and whatever. And the moment I stepped in the gym and saw somebody get knocked the fuck out, I was like, that sport coat blazer thing looks really fucking good right now. So, yeah. But thank you, Mom. I hope I've done you justice. She came to the States in '82 and wanted a better life and married my dad. And I mean, it was tumultuous and saw the world kind of out of the backseat of our fucking van conversion. But I mean, it got me to the dance. So thanks, Mom.
Much
Happy
love.
birthday.
One
Hey.
love, brother.
Absolutely. And happy birthday to Jackie Dankin.
Hell yeah.
Come
Fucking-
on.
Yeah.
Robert Samerson, Jackie Dankin,
And my mom's.
Mrs. Mama Woods.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who else is out there? What else we got going on?
I think I've even got a cousin, Lisa Dutta or Lisa Marie, but she's also got a birthday, and Joe Montana. My mom would hammer that thing home.
Not Joe Montana, right?
No, not
The
the
other
actor.
guy, the other guy.
fucking cool Joe, man, fucking 49ers. Yeah, I'm just saying. But June
Thank you for
11th, a
saying.
special day to
It's a
many
big
people.
day, man. 611.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Right?
hey.
Normally I'd be eating Korean barbecue today, but my partner in crime is out
He's like,
of the
Mealy
game.
Yeah, he's
Locker.
literally like kind of comatose
they-
and
they-
convulsing
I
by the
don't feel
chair.
like good today.
They tell him, yeah.
That's
no
a
more beef. No
generalization,
more
Joey.
beef.
Sorry, man.
Bro, I
sorry,
like
sorry.
it. Why don't you do
Hey,
that?
bro, my stomach don't feel good today, bro. I ate too much pork, bro.
Now he's going to lecture me afterwards
I know.
about how negative that was.
That's a fucking Busha shooter.
But I thought it was hilarious.
I know.
Right?
What?
Robert's gonna kick my ass now.
He doesn't like it when we do those things, but it's all good.
Well, first
So-
he's gonna do the haka, then he's gonna kick my ass.
That's right. First he's gonna make caca.
Maybe he'll haka over your ass and two birds with one stone.
Robert
I'm just
doesn't
saying.
do the haka. Robert makes caca.
Good lord. Oh man, fuck.
It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Robert.
Happy birthday, Rob,
We're
man.
a bunch of old fools
I don't know-
just like Goldberg.
You said it. I don't know. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
apparently I'm old. Fuck yeah.
I
I'm
don't
an
know
old
how
fuck.
Robert made it in today, but he made it in so the show could happen.
Yes.
So
Thank you,
we
Rob.
we don't have Gym Crashers without him. We don't have the Gym Crasher Dojo without him. We don't do interviews and put them out without him. Well, Adam can, but I can't because I'm incapable. And according to
Ash?
Woods, Gym Crashers and Joey the Bull.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
We'll see
Join
you
us
next
every
week.
Tuesday
Yep.
on the Book of Faces and the Tube of Views,
And the
or
Crashers
YouTube
of
and
Dojo.
So
Facebook.
don't hang up yet. I'm saying, and happy Father's Day coming up this weekend, correct?
Yeah, that's
Yay.
Sunday.
To all the pops out there, like myself, and
Grandfathers.
and
I think
of
we-
course,
yeah,
everybody, the
I think
dads
I might
here.
have-
You know, happy
I put
Father's
it-
Day.
Yeah.
You know, have a good
It's keeping it
barbecue.
positive.
Yeah,
I like
and
that.
if you don't
Positive.
see your kids, go fucking see your kids.
Yeah.
Damn it.
If they
Damn
call
it.
you and bug you, just say,
Yeah,
just come
don't,
over.
Don't fucking show up on Maury and fuck. You know, just see
But
your
if my kids show up to my house, I'll be drunk as fuck.
There
It is
you go.
Bellator Friday too. We watching Bellator. Watching Bellator, right?
Just kidding.
Bellator, yeah,
Friday.
Bellator's this weekend, and
Friday.
also Red Boxing, Pico Rivera.
Red
That's
boxing.
Yes, absolutely. So
Hey.
shout out to Ray Rodis.
Ray Rodis
To
is
the
our
big
homeboy.
Filipinos, my brothers out there too.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So it's a big fight weekend.
Pico
and
Rivera Sports
Joey's getting
Arena.
fucking drunk, so I think it's going to be great.
Joey doesn't
but,
drink.
Join us next weekend here
Our
at the
live
Gym
CBD.
Crashers, where we do some shit.
We do
I'm
it.
just saying. But this
Every
is
week.
according to Woods with
Dondo.
CBD. Our
Joey,
life CBD.
our life.
And Dondo.
That's right. Oh,
Wait,
oh.
wait. Oh,
And
shit.
thank
That's
you.
on my knee.
That's your...